Today I want to show you a technique for a very simple way to attach your embellishments to your work. This is a 3-needle attachment, and as you can see on this sock called the tile sock, this is from my book The Embellished Sock, Knitted Art for the Foot, and you can see here how I have attached these rectilinear garter stitch pieces onto this sock. And the nice thing is that with this attachment it's almost impossible to see how they've been attached on the inside. You can see, if you look, it's really difficult to see it, but right there is a little line of attachment, but it makes for a very nice smooth inside of any garment that you're doing. Let me show you another example or two here. This is the carnival sock, and in this case I've just done these frilly ruffles. They're done in garter stitch ruffles, and they're attached to the top of this sock, and once again you can see the inside is just a very simple, looks just like the rest of the sock. There's no roughness or no problem there. So it's a very simple and easy way to attach an embellishment to your work. It's not unlike a 3-needle bind-off. You may have seen that situation where you're on a shoulder seam or something where you're doing a 3-needle bind-off, but this, we're just attaching these embellishments. I've made a little swatch here. This is a tiny little garter stitch sample, and I'm doing this to show you that you have to be careful when you are first putting this together of which side you put against your work. In this case, like for my socks, I work those socks from the top down, and so therefore when I do this, if it was a garter stitch swatch, I'm going to make sure that I put a purl ridge. You see how there is a purl ridge against your needle here. That purl ridge is going to go against the right side of my work. So I'll turn it around, and the purl ridge is now facing the knitted side. If I were making this garment from the bottom up, I would do it just the opposite. The reason we do that is because if I don't do it with this top down, or when I do it with the top down, what's going to happen is this thing is going to flip over when it's finished, and if I had not done it with the purl ridge, there would be an extended length of knitted stitches there and just get the pattern off kilter. So once I have decided which side I'm going to put, I just simply take one needle and hold it parallel against the second needle, and then I take my third needle, thus the 3-needle attachment. My stitches have pulled out of my needle. I'm sure that has never happened to you before. I'm going to simply put them back on the needle. I'm going to put my swatch in front, garter stitch or ridge, purl ridge to the face, and then I'm going to come into the front of the stitch of the first needle and the front of the stitch of the second needle, and I'm going to knit those two stitches together. I didn't do it, did I? I'm going to come in, I knit them together, making sure that you don't drop a stitch off as you pull it off. And if you just simply take your time and go across your work, knitting into the front of the stitch of the first needle. Actually, that stitch was twisted. And you knit it off. Knitting to the front, and knitting those two together. And slide it off. Knitting into the front of that stitch, knitting them together, and slide it off. Just a couple of more stitches here, and we will have this small swatch attached to our work. That's a 3-needle attachment. Now you see it is there. Now I've done another swatch. This is a stockinette swatch, and in this case, since I'm coming from the top down, I'm going to turn this so that the knitted side is against the knitted side. Again, if I were working from the bottom up, I would do it the wrong side, or the purl side, to the knitted side. And you can understand that because if you're working from the bottom up, that's going to be your finished side. But since I'm working from the top down, it's going to flip over. So in order to make it right, I have to put the knitted side to the knitted side. So let me quickly put this on here. In the same way, we hold one needle in front of the other. You knit into the first stitch from the front needle and the first stitch of the second needle, and you knit those two together. Again, into the front, knit them together, and you can do that all the way across, however many stitches you have, making your attachment. So let me show you one that's finished here, and you will see here I have those same two stitches. Here is the knitted swatch, and you see I knitted it this way, so I had the wrong side that, but since this is the top, I turn it over, and now look how the knitted swatch is attached there, and here is the purl garter stitch, and how by the fact that we put that garter ridge or purl ridge against our work, there's no interruption in the pattern. So that's the 3 needle attachment. It certainly makes for a very pretty and easy way to attach your embellishments to your work, and I hope you will find many creative ways to use it. Enjoy.